Imagine waking up one morning, scrolling through news headlines, and there it is. The ominous question that gnaws at the very core of your existence in this cutthroat world of investing. Are general partners about to be replaced by algorithms? That sense of dread that tightens your chest, the fear that the skills, the intuition, the decades you've poured into this game might one day be obsolete, replaced by cold lines of code running on some server farm halfway across the globe. It's not paranoia. It's a very real, very urgent problem staring every GP in the eye. Here's the brutal truth nobody's telling you. The world you thought you controlled is shrinking under the weight of automation, AI, and relentless algorithmic decision making. It's like watching your craft, your livelihood, and your legacy slowly being digested by a machine that never sleeps, never wavers, never gets tired or distracted. Every pitch deck passed, every risk profile analyzed, every investment thesis tested is now on the chopping block for digits and formulas. That's the reality. And denying it will be your undoing. The feeling of powerlessness that creeps in is suffocating. You've been the gatekeepers, the fearless leaders steering startups through chaos to success. But what happens when the gatekeepers themselves are no longer needed? When the data spits out decisions faster and with fewer errors than a human mind bogged down by bias or emotion? The frustration, helplessness, and anxiety can crush even the most seasoned professional because this isn't just about job security, it's about identity. If algorithms take over, what's left of the general partner? But this is not a death sentence. Far from it. The next evolution of your role isn't to resist the machine or pretend it doesn't exist. The true power lies in mastering what these algorithms can't touch: heart, judgment, vision, and the unshakable will to create something new that defies the rules. Those are your secret weapons. No AI can replicate the fire that burns inside a GP who sees beyond spreadsheets, into the soul of a founder, the tremble of a market about to shift, and the pulse of innovation before it reveals itself in numbers. Here's the exact moment to flip the script. Instead of fearing displacement, lean into the transformation. Become the rare and unstoppable general partner who knows exactly how and when to use algorithms as allies, not adversaries. Trust that the cold data is just one part of the story. Your gut, your network, and your ability to synthesize chaos into clarity. That's where the real alpha lives. Algorithms crunch inputs. You create the narrative. They can calculate risk. You can feel the risk no algorithm will ever foresee because it lives in nuance, intuition, and empathy. Survival and thriving in this new landscape means becoming an operator of imperfection, a curator of uncertainty. You have to embrace complexity, not avoid it. The world no longer rewards those who blindly follow a rulebook or coast on past formulas. It worships those who question the system relentlessly, who tune their minds to spot what the numbers miss. This is the call to shed the safety net of how things have always been and burn with the hunger to redefine what a general partner can be in this age of machines. But it's not just about personal survival. There is a vast, devastating gap between brilliant individuals stuck on islands of isolation, unsure how to connect and amplify one another's rare skills and visions. That's the systemic failure of the current world. The same system that feeds algorithms to replace us instead of building infrastructure that elevates true human genius in all its messy glory. And that's why the future belongs to those who refuse to be processed, categorized, and filtered. Those who reject mediocrity at every turn and demand synergy with fellow misfits, ready to ignite change on a scale no algorithm can even comprehend. This isn't a call to join some corporate collective or herd to a new solution. This is a rebellion, a radical realignment where the few who burn brightest find each other across borders, industries, and outdated titles. It's where trust is currency and alignment is power. When you start connecting like that, your potential explodes. Imagine a network, not one that drowns you in noise, but one that amplifies your essence, your unique perspective, your ability to see the unseeable. That's where the true future lies, where the violated promise of freedom in the system finally becomes a reality. You're not here to carry on as a relic of a fading era or a cog in someone else's machine. You're here to forge a new path, to be ruthless in practicing your freedom, to be sovereign in your will and critical in your thinking. This means never settling for surface-level truths, always digging deeper beyond what the data tells you. It means playing the long game, with patience and precision. Because the episode where algorithms erase the human touch is not an ending. It's the birth of something far more potent, an era where those who dare to transform and align will become the architects of a new reality. The secret lies not in defeating the algorithms, but in transcending their limitations. They'll optimize processes, speed up pattern recognition, and analyze risks, sure. But they cannot replace your ability to read between the lines, to sense the unseen shifts in markets, society, or technology. The difference between a successful algorithmic investment and a legendary GP move is simple: the soul behind the decision. And that soul isn't code. It's conviction, fire, and a deep understanding of what humans want and need even before they know it themselves. It's time to flip from fear to fierce action. Build your own autonomous network with other rare, ruthless operators who refuse to be boxed in or defined by the system's shallow metrics. Seek out those who challenge your thinking, amplify your vision, and fuel your hunger. Craft alliances where your skills complement, not compete, where your differences become strengths and your collective power becomes unstoppable. That network is the new fortress, a place where your brilliance isn't just recognized, but multiplied. Here's a counterintuitive truth: the more machines rise, the more essential your humanity becomes. Every relationship you nurture, every subtle instinct you hone, every bold gamble you take against the grain of normalized logic is a brick building your invincibility. Stop trying to fight or outsmart technology directly. Start mastering what it cannot replicate: imagination, courage, and a deep, relentless hunger for more. That's how to not just survive, but thrive in a world that wants to tame the wildness out of you. You owe it to yourself and the future to stop waiting for validation from systems that are rigged to erase you. The system doesn't want the exceptional because it can't control them. So stop trying to fit in. Stop playing small to appease comfort. Instead, lean into discomfort and disruption. Burn the old maps and dare to build your own. The code of the future GP is unapologetic sovereignty, brutal critical thinking, relentless transformation, and selective alliances. This is the fire that keeps the human spirit alive when technology threatens to turn everything into numbers. The question, are general partners being replaced by algorithms, is not one to answer with fear, but with a battle cry. A call to grow beyond what was expected, beyond what was safe, beyond what's commoditized. To become a GP who's not just part of the game, but shaping the very rules. A GP who moves in rhythms no machine can follow because they beat to the pulse of human passion, vision, and rebellion. Nothing is handed to those who wait. The future belongs to those who rewrite reality, who refuse to be frozen into statistics or profiles. To those who pick up the torch when the world dims its lights and fight for a space where freedom isn't a word, but a lived experience. To those who burn rather than bend. This is your moment, to stop running from the algorithm and start mastering its currency. Data, yes, but also connection, courage, and vision. Become the GP who does what no machine can: create legacy, spark culture, and build futures. Because who you become in this fight is the only answer. And that's a power no machine will ever own.